The wind carried more than dust across the Argentinian pampas. It carried stories, legends, and secrets buried deep within the heart of this vast, untamed land. The whispers of the pampas were not just the sounds of nature, but echoes of a mysterious past that refused to be forgotten. It carried whispers, whispers of a crater that was said to hold secrets beyond human comprehension. The locals spoke of it in hushed tones, their voices tinged with fear and reverence. A crater that glowed, a crater that hummed. It was as if the very earth was alive, pulsating with an energy that defied explanation. The glow was not just a light, but a beacon, calling out to those who dared to approach. A crater forbidden. Ridiculous, I scoffed, wiping dust from my brow. The idea of a forbidden crater seemed like a tale spun to scare children, yet the more I heard, the more intrigued I became. I, Miguel Santos, laughed at legends, yet the whispers persisted, weaving tales of a no-fly zone, of strange occurrences that defied logic. The more I tried to dismiss them, the more they clung to my thoughts like a persistent shadow, of government secrets, of something otherworldly. My curiosity, a relentless beast, began to stir. What was the government hiding? What could be so dangerous, so extraordinary that it needed to be kept from the world? One night, under a sky teeming with stars, an old gaucho, eyes filled with ancient wisdom, spoke. His voice was a soft murmur, blending with the whispers of the wind, yet his words were clear and unmistakable. "The crater calls, young Santos. It calls to those who dare to listen." His words were not just a warning, but an invitation, a challenge to uncover the truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. His words, heavy with unspoken truth, settled deep within me. The whispers became a roar. The more I thought about it, the more I felt an irresistible pull towards the crater. It was as if my destiny was intertwined with this mysterious place. I had to see it. I had to know. The unknown beckoned me, and I could no longer resist its call. The journey ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: the secrets of the crater would soon be revealed. The journey was arduous. The road ahead seemed endless, stretching out like a serpent winding through the barren land. Each mile felt like a battle against the elements, with the jeep's engine roaring defiantly against the harsh terrain. The sky above, a canvas of swirling clouds, mirrored the turmoil below. It was as if the heavens themselves were warning me of the challenges that lay ahead. Days blurred into nights under the unforgiving sun. The relentless heat of the day gave way to the biting cold of the night, creating a cycle of extremes that tested my endurance. The desert with its vast emptiness seemed to stretch on forever, a never-ending expanse of sand and rock. Each sunset brought a brief respite, a moment of beauty in an otherwise harsh journey. My trusty jeep, a battered warrior of the pampas, groaned under the strain. Every bump and jolt was a reminder of the countless miles it had travelled, the many adventures it had seen. It was more than just a vehicle. It was a companion, a steadfast ally in this unforgiving landscape. Together we pressed on, driven by a shared determination to reach our destination. The closer I got, the more oppressive the silence became. It was a silence that seemed to swallow all sound, leaving only the whisper of the wind and the crunch of gravel under the jeep's tires. The vast emptiness of the landscape was both awe-inspiring and intimidating, a reminder of the isolation and the unknown that lay ahead. The air crackled with unseen energy. It was a palpable force, a tingling sensation that raised the hairs on my arms and sent shivers down my spine. There was something otherworldly about it, a sense that I was approaching a place where the normal rules of nature no longer applied. Finally, on the horizon, a scar on the landscape. The crater loomed large, a gaping wound in the earth that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. It was a sight both mesmerizing and terrifying, a reminder of the powerful forces that had shaped this land. The crater. It yawned before me, a gaping maw of mystery. Its depths were shrouded in shadow, hiding secrets that had been buried for eons. Standing at its edge, I felt a mix of fear and excitement, a sense that I was on the brink of discovering something extraordinary. Military checkpoints, bristling with technology, blocked my path. The presence of armed guards and advanced surveillance equipment was a stark reminder that this was no ordinary sight. It was a place of great importance, guarded fiercely against intruders. Their presence only fueled my resolve. I knew that whatever lay within the crater was worth the risk. The obstacles in my path only strengthened my determination to uncover the truth, to see for myself what was so fiercely protected. This wasn't just a crater. It was a secret guarded fiercely. The signs of restricted access, the high fences and the constant patrols all pointed to something of immense value or danger. It was a place that held answers, and I was determined to find them. Under the cloak of darkness, I slipped past the patrols. The cover of night provided the perfect opportunity to move undetected, to navigate the shadows and avoid the watchful eyes of the guards. Each step was taken with caution, every sound carefully muffled to avoid detection. Each step felt heavier, the air thicker, as if the earth itself resisted my approach. The atmosphere was dense, almost suffocating, adding to the sense of foreboding that hung over the crater. It was as if the very ground was warning me to turn back, to abandon my quest. Fear, cold and primal, coiled in my gut. It was a fear that spoke to the deepest parts of my being, a survival instinct that urged me to flee. But alongside the fear was a burning curiosity, a need to understand what lay within the crater. But there was something else too. A pull, an irresistible lure. It was a force that drew me forward, compelling me to continue despite the dangers. The mysterious light in the distance beckoned, promising answers to the questions that had driven me this far. And so, with a mix of fear and determination, I pressed on, ready to uncover the secrets of the forbidden sky. The crater's rim offered a breathtaking and terrifying view. Jagged rock formations plunged into a swirling abyss, and at its heart, bathed in an otherworldly glow, the light. It pulsed with an eerie rhythm, casting dancing shadows that writhed like living things. The air hummed, a low, resonant frequency vibrated in my teeth, resonated in my bones. It was a symphony of the strange, a melody that spoke of secrets beyond human comprehension. Cautiously I descended. The rocks were slick, treacherous. My heart pounded, a frantic rhythm against my ribs. The hum intensified, wrapping around me like a living thing. The crater floor was eerily smooth, as if polished by an unseen hand. I stood before the source of the light, mesmerized. It was a sphere, perfectly formed, hovering silently above the ground. It pulsed, a hypnotic heartbeat, bathing the crater in its ethereal glow. The sphere was a kaleidoscope of colours, shifting, changing, morphing before my eyes. It sang to me, a silent symphony of light and energy. I reached out, compelled by an unseen force. My hand passed through the sphere's surface. It was warm, inviting. Section 5, echoes of the past images flooded my mind. Visions of starships, vast and ancient, crisscrossing the cosmos. I saw beings of pure energy, their forms shifting, their thoughts a symphony of light and sound. And I saw this sphere, this beacon, sent to a young world, a seed of knowledge for a species yet to be born. The visions faded. I stumbled back, overwhelmed. The sphere wasn't just an object, it was a library, a repository of knowledge from a civilization beyond imagining. It was the story of the universe waiting to be told. Night after night, I returned. The sphere became my obsession, my confidant. Its light seeped into my dreams, painting them with impossible landscapes and whispering forgotten truths. I began to understand. The sphere communicated not through words, but through emotions, through images, through pure, unadulterated knowledge. It spoke of the universe's birth, of the dance of creation and destruction, of the rise and fall of countless civilizations. It spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, of the delicate balance that held the cosmos in harmony. It spoke of hope and of responsibility. My world, once limited by the horizon, now stretched to encompass the stars. The night sky, with its countless twinkling lights, became a canvas of endless possibilities. Each star a beacon of hope, a story waiting to be told. The vastness of the universe was both humbling and exhilarating, a reminder of how small we are in the grand scheme of things. The sphere had opened my eyes to the infinite possibilities of the universe. It was as if I had been given a key to unlock the mysteries of existence. The glowing orb, with its ethereal light, was a symbol of knowledge and discovery. It beckoned me to look beyond the confines of my world and to embrace the unknown. It had ignited within me a thirst for knowledge, a yearning to explore the vastness of space, to understand the cosmos and our place within it. The more I learned, the more I realized how much there was still to discover. The universe was a vast, uncharted territory, and I was determined to explore every corner of it, to seek out the echoes of those ancient travellers. The ruins, with their silent stories, spoke of civilizations that had once looked up at the same stars. They had sought answers just as I did now. The distant galaxies and nebulas were like whispers from the past, urging me to continue my quest for knowledge. The world suddenly felt small, insignificant. From the vantage point of space, our planet was just a tiny speck in the vast expanse. The small town, with its familiar sights and sounds, seemed like a distant memory. The universe was calling, and I could no longer ignore its beckoning. My life, once focused on the mundane, now held a profound sense of purpose. The night sky, with its ever-moving stars, was a constant reminder of the passage of time and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. I found myself lost in thought, contemplating the mysteries of the universe and my place within it. I was no longer just Miguel Santos, gaucho of the Pampas. My identity had expanded, transcending the boundaries of my earthly existence. The plains, once my entire world, were now just a small part of a much larger picture. I was connected to the stars, to the universe, in ways I'd never imagined. I was a student of the cosmos, a guardian of ancient knowledge, a seeker of truth that lay hidden in the vast expanse of space. The star charts and ancient texts were my guides, leading me on a journey of discovery and enlightenment. Each new piece of information was a stepping stone, bringing me closer to understanding the universe, a voice for the universe itself. I felt a deep connection to the cosmos, as if I were a part of its grand narrative. The stars, with their silent songs, spoke to me, and I knew that my journey had only just begun. The universe beckoned, and I was ready to answer its call. The whispers on the wind had changed. No longer were they of fear or suspicion. Now they spoke of respect, of reverence. The gauchos, the farmers, the villagers, they all knew the truth of the crater. They became silent guardians, protecting the secret from prying eyes, ensuring the sphere's safety. The government remained oblivious, their technology useless against the sphere's ancient wisdom. It was a secret held not by force, but by trust, by understanding. It was a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, our innate ability to recognize and protect something greater than ourselves. Years have passed. The crater remains a silent beacon on the vast pampas. The secrets it holds are slowly being revealed, shared with those deemed worthy. A new generation is rising, a generation touched by the sphere's wisdom, their eyes turned towards the stars. I stand at the rim, the wind whipping my poncho around me. The sphere hums its ancient song, a lullaby of the cosmos. The universe is vast, filled with wonders beyond imagining, and we, the children of Earth, are ready to take our place among the stars. Our journey has just begun.